Hi all, how are you? I'm sending lots of love in this episode because this is going to be one where we probably need a lot of it. So this is going to be about self-worth, self-deservance, insecurities, lack of self-confidence, all that kind of stuff, because we all have it, have gone through it, still going through it, whatever. It's something that we definitely all experience. And I think most of it happens in the teenage years and it kind of carries on. So what happens is we're born, and we don't really think about much because we're just being who we are. We're children. We don't understand that much about what's happening in life as we call real life, even though whatever. So then we become teenagers, and in that teenage phase is when all of this stuff comes, because what happens there is from the stuff that we have learned as children, we kind of start testing out the waters. And this is where we also enter into the world of different opinions and how things just start coming onto us. And from there is what leads into our lack of self-confidence, lack of judgment, lack of lots of things, that we start feeling insecure. We don't feel we're worth it. We don't feel we deserve it because we don't feel like we match up, even though what is it we're trying to match up to? Do we even know? It's really this image that we think that we're supposed to be, because no one is that. Everything in our lives put us into this pretty picture of what we think we're supposed to be, but none of us are that really. Some people might post things, like even in celebrities and stuff, that make them seem like they're living this fairy tale life, but not many people are actually living this fairy tale life, because even in fairy tales, they're going through their own inner turmoil. So many people are going through inner things that we don't even know. Lots of people don't even know you are going through all this inner stuff, So let's talk about that stuff that everybody goes through but isn't very much talked about. So a big one is lack of self-confidence, and that usually comes from, first of all, physical things. So we all kind of start worrying about how we look on the outside. I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't like how I looked on the outside. I didn't like being any of me. Maybe some of you now will be like, how could you not, look at how you look, all of that stuff. Trust me, it wasn't easy. Everyone goes through it. Like I say, doesn't matter if you think the person is hot or not. Everyone goes through it. And just so you know, yes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and what you think about yourself relates to the outside. So a lot of stuff is based on energy. It really is. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about this other stuff. So we are not happy with ourselves based on what we think other people would like to see of us, or what we'd like to see of us based on what we think other people, It is so tough. For me, I didn't like being Asian. That was really tough. I grew up in a Caucasian society. It was very, very not into other races. And so I didn't like being any race. I wanted to be white. I wanted to be white with curly blonde hair, blue eyes. I felt like that was what was attractive to other people. And I wanted to be that. I didn't start appreciating my own race until just like some years ago. I also wanted to be taller. I thought I was way too short, you see these models with their tiny bodies, with their long legs, and you think that's what we need to amount to. And it's not. It's really just being comfortable with who you are. Another thing about that is, that one's so not easy. Okay, this is how I started to like myself. I actually started on trying to like just human beings first. So for me, I started to appreciate all my senses. I started to appreciate all my body parts, because there are people that can't even use certain body parts. Some people that aren't even born with certain things, or even functioning in. Some people are stuck to a machine or bag from birth. Some people will get that later on in life. There's so many different things that people have gone through and are going through, that when you have all of you functioning, you need to try to learn to appreciate that. Or do you want to be that other person? Sometimes people want to be that other person until they get there and realize that they're the other person and how lucky they were before. That's another thing that we have such a hard time with, is that we are always looking at the grass is greener on the other side when we don't actually know what that grass experienced to be that green grass, you know? Maybe what they went through was way harder than what we had to. Do we actually want to experience that kind of stuff to be that green grass? You know, it's when you could just be your own green grass that maybe is even more beautiful than green grass, but you don't know it because you don't see yourself like that, but other people looking in do see that. So you really need to know that it's all about perception. It's all about how you see things, and to give yourself more credit for that. Some people, like I said, again, give more credit than they should, but I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing. Maybe they will learn to come down from that, but at the same time, it is a good thing because we lack so much of that in our world, in our society, in everything that we experience. So many people just put themselves so far down, not realizing the amazing things about them, you know? Okay, so I started appreciating my senses and my body and just appreciating the human experience. And then also appreciating that my soul. So if you don't believe in the soul, I mean, take what you can from this. But for me, by knowing that my soul chose to be exactly who I am and to experience the things that I'm experiencing, made it easier for me to also accept who I am, what I look like, etc., etc. And from there, when I started to love myself and appreciate who I am from there, is when I started being okay and realizing how much I'm worth, my self-deservance, my self-confidence, all of that kind of stuff started to come out and show. And now I am who I am, and who you see in front of you is because I see why I was given this life. I see why I was this Asian girl. I see a lot of that, and it is so that I can be here in front of you speaking like I am, and hopefully having people be able to take it in rather than just judging every little part of me, even though people will do that too. But it's just, it put me in this spot where I am able to do this. So think about why you are you, what brought you to this point, and do you enjoy being who you are at this moment, or do you not? If you don't, that is something that you are going to have to work on. What is it that will make you happiest? What form of you do you wish that you would like to change? Is it something that you can change, or are you not seeing the beauty of yourself in it, the reason why you're like how you are? There are so many different ways that we are meant for ourselves to look. I mean, don't listen to the world that they're showing you. It's not real. That is not actually the real world. I hate that they talk about the real world when it's not, when they're showing you an illusion. Not everyone is supposed to look like that, but yes, there are people that look like that. Right now, those are what they're choosing as, you know, the standard, but it's up to you what you wish for yourself as a person to be comfortable. So I try to appreciate what I was given because I do believe it to be a choice of our soul, that what we are experiencing, even in this very moment. I mean, people always think that you have to start at like some part in the past. Really, starting is wherever you decide to in the now. Everything that we're experiencing is always in the now, and it's up to you in what moment of now you want to experience everything in. So take time, think about it. Yeah. Good luck and love yourself.